Hello everyone. Today we are going to continue the story Evans Tries Anno Level by Colin Dexter. So students, in the previous lecture we have studied module number 1 and today we are going to continue the story and start module number 2. Let's see. So the story is Evans Tries Anno Level by Colin Dexter. So we completed as module number 1, this is the module number 2. So in the previous module what we have studied that we'll see in the recap. So this is a recap. Let's see here. Evans the kleptomaniac was imprisoned thrice and all the time escaped from the prison. He developed curiosity to appear in a O-level examination, which was also an effort to break the prison. The governor takes utmost care to see that he would not be fooled. Every care was taken to make Evans prepare for the exam. He was tutored by a German tutor for 6 months. The day before the exam, the tutor wishes good luck but makes it clear that he had hardly any chances of getting through. But Evans gives an ironical twist to the tutor's observation by saying, I may surprise everybody. On the day of the exam, Jackson and Stephens visited Evans' cell and took away everything that may help him injure himself. Evans was insisted to take away the hat, but he refused, saying that it was lucky charm. Evans' cell was burst so that the governor could himself listen to each and every conversation in the cell. The invigilator, Reverend Stuart McClary, too, was searched and left him to complete the task. Stephen, sitting outside the cell, every now and then peeped into the cell. The exam went on smoothly. Stephen escorted the invigilator to the main gate and took a look into Evans' cell and found the invigilator actually Evans wanted informed the governor. So this was a scene as in that Evans had escaped from the prison, and now this time Stephen, just after departing to McClary, who came again here and looking into the cell of Evans, and what did he find? He found that there was McClary who was in injured condition and Evans who had escaped from the prison. But in real, whether he was McClary or Evans, this is a confusion. So let's see here. How did the prison machinery swing into action? What point was overlooked? Sirens were sounded. Prison officers shouted orders. Puzzled prisoners pushed their way along the corridors. Doors were banged and bolted. Phones were ringing everywhere. It means Evans had escaped from the prison and all the security ran just behind him. Jackson and Stephen supported McClary on the either side of and brought him to the prison yard because he was in injured condition and by the side of his ear there was just spreading blood. The identified injured McClary remained unchecked. And here the McClary was injured and the both Stephen and Jackson, they just took him to the prison yard and hunt for Evans just going on to the prison. How did the injured McClary behave? What do you think did he achieve by this sort of behavior? The injured McClary claimed to know where Evans was. He showed more interest in arrival of police than of ambulance. He drew the governor's attention to the German question paper. The photocopied sheet in German contained the root of the scab. He diverted the attention of the prison officers and the police to the person Evans who had already left in the prison. It means the person who went outside at before he was McClary or someone we'll see here, but the person who is in the cell right now, this was Evans. Actually, he was Evans. He was not McClary. He was not the invigilator. And now this time he is just making fools to them. So what happened after that? As the police, they were in hunt of Evans. And next after here governor, he was decoding the question paper. And what did he find? He just, what conclusion did the governor arrive at suffer? And after reading the German text on the question paper, the text advised Evans to drive to the Headington roundabout from Hillsfield Way. The examination board was in Hillsfield Way. That's why governor came to this conclusion that sure he would be on the way of Hillsfield Way. Someone from the board must have been involved in the escape plan from the very beginning. It was clear from the question paper and the correction slip too also. So the governor somewhere he was searching the news and just trying to find out about Evans' escape plan. What did the governor's questioning of Stephen's reveal? Because somewhere Stephen did a mistake. And what was? It was Stephens who had taken Evans to the main gates. And who ordered him? This is a confusion. Because governor did not make a phone call. Stephens claimed that he had acted as he had been told by the governor on phone at about 20 past 11 just before the paper was over, and somewhere This time is also a hint for Evans to go outside. The governor said that he had not rung him. He had used the telephone at the time unsuccessfully to get through to the examinations board, and someone here called him and just confused him and helped Evans to made his plan. So again, the governor reached this conclusion that what did the governor think of Evans and his plan after it ringing up Detective Chief Inspector Bell, because he just informed Mr. Carter and Mr. Bell. They both arrived here. They both were the police inspector. And the governor admired clever Evans and his beautifully led plan to Carter. He called it careless of him to leave the question paper behind. He observed that all criminals made mistakes somewhere. That's why they were nabbed. And he hoped that very shortly Mr. Clever Evans would be back inside the prison. And governor here just had confidence that one day Evans would be again in the prison. Where according to the governor was Evans likely to be found and why? Evans was on his way to Newbury. The governor explained his reasons for believing so. The clues in German text pointed to this, and it was now a police job to arrest him. So the police in search of Evans. Now this time is police in search of Evans. He and Carter, Bell, they all just in search of Evans along with McClary. But they just departed McClary on the way to just go to the hospital. What truth did the inquiries about injured McClary from Carter and the Radcliffe reveal? Carter was in the Radcliffe near the examination office. They rang for the ambulance from there, and the accident department of the Radcliffe informed that there was no person named McClary there. They had sent an ambulance to the way, but the fellow had vanished from there by then. So again there is a confusion. McClary is also vanished. So somewhere McClary is involved in this plan. So now this time Mr. Carter and Bell, they were also in search of McClary as well as Evans too. So they were just going on in search of Evans. And what happened after that? Here governor, he just found somewhere the clue and reached the Golden Loyal. And when Evans reached into his room, what did he find? He found that Mr. Governor was also already there, and he became shocked. It was that bloody correction slip, I suppose, who said this, when and why. Evans, when he found the governor in his room in the Hotel Golden Lion, he knew he was beaten. The details of the escape plan were there on the correction slip, and he had left it there on the table. Somewhere he made a mistake. But what happened next? What two purposes did the correction slip serve? Which of them did Evans consider more important? The correction slip provided Evans the name of the hotel and its location. Secondly, it contained the exact time the exam started. The really important thing for Evans was that the phone rang just before the exam finished. Thus, he was able to get the prison officers out of the way for a couple of minutes. So in such a way, Evans escaped from the prison. And what happened? Tell me one thing before we go, Evans. How on the earth did you get all that blood to pour over your head? Asked the governor. How does Evans react to this question? Because he completely understood that the governor knew very well his plan. Evans said it was very clever to get a couple of pints of blood into a cell. There was none there to start off with. The invigilator got searched before he came in. Evans refused to disclose it as he might use the trick again. He didn't reveal this plan. Governor then inquired if it was anything to do with a little rubber ring for piles. Evans grinned and asked if it wasn't clever. It means the governor knew very well from where did he just found the blood. And next, how did Evans manage to plan the escape from prison? The governor had taken enough precautions. Evans had no visitors. He had no letters. He told he had got lots of friends, like his German teacher too also. The governor said he was from the technical college. Evans seemed to enjoy all this and asked if he had checked it. Reluctantly, the governor had to admit that far more was going on than he thought or imagined. This was the thing. There somewhere governor made a mistake, and Evans just took benefit of those mistakes. So Evans this time now surrenders, and then after the governor informed the police, and the police came there, and Evans this time now he was just going with the police to the cell. But again he has a last laugh. How? This time what suggestions did the handcuffed Evans make while clambering to van? Somewhere he just hinted to governor. Evans observed that the governor German was pretty good and asked if he knew any more of the modern languages, like his eye blinked. When the governor said, "Not very well," Evans grinned happily. He said that he had noticed that they had got some O level Italian classes coming up next September. The governor said that perhaps he wouldn't be with the next September. Evans pondered over these words and said that he wouldn't be there. So, somewhere Evans hinted to him. And what happened? Who do you think has the last laugh, the governor or the Evans, and how? The governor is complacent that he has nabbed the runaway prisoner, and soon the police van will land him in prison. As the van turns to the Oxford Road, the silent prison officers unlocks the handcuffs and asks the driver to move on fast. The driver inquires in broad Scots accent where they should make for. Evans suggested Newbury. It is crystal clear that the two persons are accomplices of Evans. He had escaped from prison once again, hence it is Evans who has the last laugh. So all the governor's securities, they are all van, and Evans took his last laugh. So student, I hope that you understood this story very well. And this time again a question came here. Should criminals in prison be given the opportunity of learning and education? Give reasons in support of your answer. So now this time you are able to give the answer. So hope you enjoyed the story very well. And now let's see the question for practice. Question number 1. Why did Evans request not to take off his hat? He was feeling cold. To give a smart look, he loved to wear. Evans considered it lucky for himself. So option number D is right. Second, how could Evans' plan for escape become a success? Because of his wits, because he keeps his hat on his head, because he was cunning, or so option number D is right. Next, question number 3. How did Evans outwit the governor? By taking exam, by putting his hat, by keeping a letter, by escaping again. So, by escaping again. What precautions did the authorities take to conduct the examination smoothly? The governor personally supervised security. Evans' cell was checked thoroughly. All belongings were taken away from Evans. The letter was frisked, and a police officer was posted to keep a vigil. All these precautions were followed there. So now listen to our assignment. Let's see the questions are here. Question number 1. How did the governor react to the phone calls he received in quick succession? How does Evans escape from the jail again? Who do you think has outwitted the other, Evans or the governor? How? And the last one, reflecting on the story, what did you feel about Evans having the last laugh? So student, hope you enjoyed the story very well. See you soon in the next video. Okay, thank you.